All right, let's see if I could get this stuff working. In this world, in mine. All right, here we go. Create broadcast. Here we go in five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome Home Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What up? What
I'm not joined by my co-host Q. I lost him. Not sure what happened there. We will get him a second to join back as we do that. It was quite a weekend for Gamecock Athletics. Quite a weekend for Gamecock Athletics. South Carolina does get the win, of course, against SC State. A delay that was one for the Birds, quite frankly, one for the Birds. Yeah, Q is now back on with us. I mean, the delay was absolutely terrible. I can say that from being there firsthand experience. The night before, though, South Carolina got a big win for Gamecock soccer over Charlotte, a team they haven't beaten since, I believe, 2014. A huge win for Tony Annan, as the guys are seeming to get something going, man. Seemingly seems to be getting something going. Before that, I was out there with Cox by 90 and Cocky Hospitality at their softball event over there for Gamecock Athletics at Hall's Chop House, the Gamecock kickoff event. A great event. A lot of money was raised. And I got to tell you, man, this Gamecock community is just amazing. And NFL, Gamecocks in the NFL, they shined. Gamecocks in the NFL shined this weekend. So we'll get into that as well. Okay. Q, let's start it off, man. Gamecock soccer, I want to bring it up. They had a huge win over Charlotte. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it was a two to one win over Charlotte, a team that hadn't beaten in a while. But it seems like this team is really gelling. Communication is working, and the guys are really getting it going. Coming closer into Sunbelt play, which we're not far away from now. You got one more homestand at Winthrop on Tuesday at 7 o'clock. I will not be there. Actually, we'll be traveling for work, but be there in spirit, of course, and we'll get some good, interview posts from Tony Annan. So congratulations to the Gamecock men's soccer team and the women's soccer team, continuing to tear it up, man, continuing to tear it up. But Q, let's go ahead. We'll take it right into Gamecock football. And like I said, it was a bad start from the beginning, straight up. It was you get in there early. You think things are going to be fine. You start looking around, man. The clouds are starting to cloud, man. It was clouding up real bad out there. And I look at it, I'm like, yeah, this thing's going to break here soon. So my buddy Gary and I, my brother-in-law, he was there with me at the game. We look at each other like, yeah, we got to go. We got to go because this thing's going to break. And not as soon as we got to the bottom and we got into the tunnel, it let loose. And oh, did it let loose. The wind came. The rain came. And when I say the rain came, it was a monsoon. And I'm talking about that water was standing water at the bottom in the hallways and the tunnel and all that. It was standing water. I really haven't seen anything like it with that much water. I mean, it was a lot. It really was. I guess Missouri game comes close, but it was a lot of water, Q. And my mind, I'm thinking a lot of fans are leaving. That's it. We're going to have a little rough showing. Nope. 2 hours go by. Finally, we're playing football. The fans are in the stadium. The students stayed. The students played in the rain. I give a shout out to that. The students stayed. Not only did they stay, played in the rain, they stayed for the game and had a great time. And it showed why this is an environment. And the vibes were high, honestly. I don't know if the vibes would have been high against other opponent, but having SC State, everybody was having a blast. Everybody. There was nobody fighting. Nobody was arguing. Everybody was getting along, having a good time. And it was like a giant, like it's South Carolina, man. The state of South Carolina. We were all just having a fantastic time in there. So hopefully the renovations have something to bring when it comes to drainage, because good Lord, drainage is not the strong suit of Williams-Brice Stadium. So anyways, getting past that. Obviously, not a strong start, Q. Not a strong start for the Gamecocks of this one. Offense didn't really get going until later in this one, but special teams by Vakari Swain, being who he is, Vakari Swain does what Vakari Swain does. That's two punt return touchdowns in one game. The first time that's ever happened in Gamecock football history from one player, by the way, from a single player. And now he's just a few away. I think he's 1 or 2 away from having the record. So Bakari being Bakari Q. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What did you think about what you saw on Saturday night?
So this is how I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna mean this from my whole heart. I I was not pleased at all with what happened at that game. There was a lot of lackluster effort on all kind of phases of the game. I felt like we got punched in the mouth and we didn't respond well. And I wasn't okay with that. I really struggled with that a lot. But what I'm not going to let South Carolina fans do, what I'm not going to allow this fan base to do is one, blame Mike Shula. Because if you go back and look at that film, Mike Shula dialed up a lot of really good plays. There was a lot of open receivers. There was a lot of open gaps. There was a lot of open things. So Mike Shula was not the problem in this game. I'm not going to let y'all only blame the offensive line. Sure, they played pretty bad. There were some things left on the field that the offensive line could have done better on. But this all wasn't on the offensive line. I love Lenore Sellers like the next person. I think Lenore Sellers is the best quarterback in the nation. But Lenore did not have a good game. It starts at the top. It starts with execution. It starts with your leader. Lenore did not have a good game. Lenore will tell you Lenore didn't have a good game. Shane Beamer will tell you Lenore didn't have a good game. Anyone that is being truthful and honest about the situation, Lenore Sellers did not have a good game. It starts with your quarterback. Now, once again, South Carolina State came out ready to play. No matter how you want to put it, they were ready to play. They came ready to play. They wanted to punch you in the mouth. They wanted this win bad. No matter how you put that. We were not good at all three phases of the game. The only phase that really was good, which ignited the other phases to work better, was special teams. Bakari had 2 return touchdowns. One was a very smart play, very, very smart play, which I told you guys. There's a reason Bakari was getting into Vanderbilt. Like, Bakari's a very intelligent young man. And for him to know that rule where even if he fumbled, anything would have happened, it wouldn't have mattered because we still would have got the ball. It's a very heady play. But once again, you can sit there and blame the offense line all day saying they got pushed around, they got this, they got that. If you really look at the plays, there were times where the ball was held on too long. There were times where people did not hit the gap they were supposed to. There was times where the tight ends didn't block properly. There were times when the wide receivers didn't block properly. There were times when everybody played their exact role in why that offense was lackluster in execution. But everybody wants to go to the offensive line. So I'm letting y'all know now, stay on that side. I said what I said. Stay on that side. Because it's going to be shown that it wasn't just the offensive line. It's going to be shown that when everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, it was fine because the offensive line was not the issue. Just like in Virginia Tech, everybody wanted to blame the offensive line again, when at the end of the day, what Virginia Tech was doing was a communication situation. So I am having a hard time with everyone blaming the offensive line only. I'm having a hard time with everyone blaming Mike Shula. Were there plays Mike can take back? Sure, whatever. That's every game. There's plays where you're like, I probably shouldn't have called that. But for y'all to say Mike Shula called a lackluster game, yeah, missed me with that. Completely missed me with that. That was me watching the replays twice.
Well,
so guess what I'm calling out today, guys? I'm calling you guys out now. I'm calling the fans out today. Today is Q going after the fans because you guys don't realize what it's like when we're the hunted. That's the difference between last year and this year. We have expectations this year. We have to learn to win with expectations. No matter how y'all want to put that, you got to learn how to win with expectations. And that's what this team is doing at this present moment. Because no matter how you guys want to look at this, no matter how y'all want to sit there and pick, and we're still 2-0. We're still 2-0, not 1-1, not 0-2, 2-0, meaning 10 more wins and we are undefeated and going into the playoffs this year. That means 10 more. If we get 10 more wins, that means we're going to the SEC championship game.
Yeah.
I think you guys have got to stop thinking you know more than this coaching staff does, and you have done more than what this team has put in the offseason. No, nothing is perfect, but I will be daggum if I'm going to let y'all sit here and do all this and we 2-0 and haven't turned the ball over once on offense.
Yeah, and look, it's not like, with Shula. I mean, you're 2-0 against, wins against Virginia Tech, which you didn't open the playbook much against Virginia Tech. You didn't really need to with the way the game went, right? SC State, another team you're not going to really open that playbook against. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to look at it like that's a factor. You have to look at it like we're not opening the playbook like that. Why would you open a playbook like that? Now, Vanderbilt coming to town, you're going to see more. You're going to see more. It's just, I know, I get it. It's frustration. I completely understand. I get it. There are some guys that miss assignments a lot and then that have missed assignments a lot this season so far. But end of the day, you are still 2-0, Q, like you just said. If you don't learn from the mistakes, though, and I get where fans are going with it, I understand. And we may be having a different conversation come next Monday evening. But for right now, just leave it in the coach's hands and just trust them. There's no point not to. They got it to the point where we were at last year. I know for sure. After they lost to Alabama, everybody, I'm not saying everybody, the majority of this fan base, probably 60%, thought the season was probably done. Didn't think there was a possibility of having a 9-win season. And if you did, you're the most optimistic guy out there. But the facts of the matter, that season didn't look pretty last year after that loss to Alabama. So just let it
I
agree. Just take the time, man. Patience is key. Patience always key. And remember, there are new people. There are new players on that offensive line. They need to communicate. They need to connect. Shed Surratt missed the first game of the season. That was massive. That's a bigger deal than most people think. But now that Shed is healthy, he's going to take those snaps in front of Rodney Newsome. That's going to happen. So we just need to hang out, chill out. Things are going to get better. Things are going to get
I'm
better.
intrigued to see Tree. I'm intrigued to see where Tree fits into this situation. I am intrigued. I know Shane has addressed it. I am just patiently waiting to see where he fits into the situation because he is too talented to not fit into the situation.
Yeah, and it's the comments are definitely interesting about Tree and his progression. I really thought we would be at a different spot right now. But, like I said, I'm not there. I'm not behind the scenes like I would love to be as much as everybody else is. I mean, the coaches are there and they know everything. I'm not there with them. I just know what I know and I hear what I hear. Right? We have our people that are in the, on that side of things, in the building, and we get what we hear, but not everything's put out. Not everything's put out. So it's definitely interesting to hear all that. Q, on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of guys, there were a lot of injuries. In this game. Brandon Cisse went out, I want to say, the 7th snap of the game, 8th snap of the game. I believe he looked to me that he got concussed from what I saw. Helmet to helmet is what I saw. And, unfortunately, friendly fire there, trying to make a tackle. Dylan Stewart, still Dylan Stewart. Brian Thomas Jr. Look, if you could continue to show this, they might be on to someone with Brian Thomas Jr. because that was a lot of speed off the edge for Brian Thomas Jr. this past Saturday night. Now, granted, I understand SC State. You never know. You get this kind of speed from Brian Thomas Jr., though, this defensive line is going to eat. Of course, the middle continues to do what they need to do. The linebackers are our linebackers. Jalen Kilgore was out, nursing a hamstring. I called it with his dad before the game started during the delay, and it was a game time decision thing. It's like, hey, if I feel like I can go, I can go. If I'm not, I'm not going to. And I'm like, well, that's it. You don't need to play this game. You don't need to. You're not gaining anything if you do. If you play, you could absolutely make it worse. So he sat out because of that. Judge Collier right now, I guess, is supposed to be back, according to Shane from the teleconference. So we'll see what that looks like come Thursday night after the official injury report with the Carolina calls comes out from Shane. Other than that, Q, I mean, JT Gear, I think, is also back. I think the only one that they're waiting to hear back from is Brady Hunt on a scan, and I think that is, at this point, still the status quo. So we will see ultimately what goes there. So,
well, I mean, Wednesday night, the I think the injury report comes out Wednesday.
Yeah, it does,
sure.
and then he drops it, on Thursday. He kind of reiterates on the Carolina calls to, really make sure at that point, because things change in a day.
So I'm intrigued to see that. I will be intrigued to see what that looks like.
Yeah, likewise.
So, I mean, health-wise, we just got to kind of get to where we need to be on the health-wise. That's just kind of where we're at.
Yeah, we do. I will say this, man. Our running back room is very talented. It's getting very complicated to really see who needs to share all these carries. Because I'm telling you, Matthew Fuller, he's got something about him, man. Matthew Fuller's got something about him. I love Oscar. I love Faison. I love Juwan. I love all of them. Fuller's got something to say, and it's one of those kind of gray areas. It's like, I'm not saying this is a thing now, but potentially if you don't get that playing time, and I don't know what's been promised to him. I don't know what was spoken in the locker room and what the plan was this season. I don't know. But Fuller's past the red shirt. So that's just something to keep in mind. I'm interested to see what he does for it moving forward, though. I really am.
I agree. I think he showed a lot of promise. Brian Rose showed something. Donovan Murphy had a pretty good game. We got a lot of young guys that are ready to play, and so I just think that's the key to this. Kelvin did a pretty good job. Kelvin Hunter had a pretty good game. Jaleel Solomon had a pretty good game too. So I just think it's just all about trying to get us to where we need to be when it comes to that. So I'm intrigued to see how that plays out.
And how about a Clowney sack? We got a Clowney sack already. That was interesting.
Yeah, Damon played a pretty good game.
Yeah, he did. Quay Dodge, shout out to him for getting his first sack, his first career.
Shout out, little bro. I was proud of him. I was like, yeah, he got it. He got into action. So that was good. I think that's going to be good. Keep getting people experience and keep going forward. Like I said, everyone wanted to look at the opponent who, just by all indications, I do want y'all to understand, like, there's a reason they win their conference. There's a reason they're always in the Celebration Bowl. Like, they're a very talented team.
Oh, yeah.
They're a very talented, well coached team.
Well, and here's the thing. The last time we played them, we beat them by 40. So, winning 38-10 is not that far off, honestly.
And the 10 came at the end. Like, it was 3 for the longest. It was like a late touchdown.
And that quarterback stayed in. Their starting quarterback stayed in. He was slinging it. He was trying to do his best out there.
That's what I'm saying. Props. So it's one of those things you gotta take what it is. Take it for what it is.
Yeah. So overall, sloppy game. South Carolina gets the W. Apparently the injuries aren't as bad as most thought, including myself at one point. And if you're getting guys like Brandon Cisse back before this game, that's big. Obviously Judge and Jalen. I mean, all of that. You need all that cornerback help because I mean, Pavia, look, I don't like Pavia. He's just way too cocky for my liking. I liked his story last year, but now he's just taking it too much to make it a kind of more of a me kind of thing, and I don't like that. You watch that Netflix series special, and it seems like it's an ego thing, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan. The guy thinks he's Johnny Manziel 2.0 or something. I don't know. I'm not with it, though. I'm definitely not with it. And look, it's been a long time. since South Carolina lost it. Since South Carolina lost to them, and yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that.
I
We'll
agree.
talk more about it Thursday night. We'll talk more about that Thursday night. Q, do you have anything else on this game?
No, I just think everybody needs to let it go and let's see what happens. We're about to start SEC play, so let's see what we're made of. Now that we're starting SEC play.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are getting into it this Saturday night at 7:45. South Carolina, Missouri has officially been announced for a night game out there in Columbia, Mizzou. Q, what are your thoughts
Mm-hmm.
about that time for that game?
I think it's a trap game. I mean, that's one of those trap games that we have to get the W there. Um, we haven't won there in a long time, and it's time for us to turn our fortunes on that and get us a W there. And I think that's a
Mhm.
big win. I think Kansas let one go. I do think Kansas exposed that Missouri's not what everybody thought they were,
Mhm.
but at the end of the day, they can still close out a game, and so we just got to see what happens from there. I do think them losing Sam Horn, I think he's out for a while. Them losing Sam Horn was pretty big in my personal opinion, but let's just see how it plays out. But I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun game. South Carolina received a commitment today from three-star tight end, 2026 tight end Caden Ramsey from Cross, South Carolina. Hugh, that's something we've been having on our radar for quite a while now, and now he finally, obviously, made his announcement in a fun way too. By the way, I don't know if you saw it. He took a couple hats. I believe he had a Virginia Tech hat at one point. He threw that, so it was really fun stuff there. But Q, that's a guy that was at what 850, I believe, last year as far as receiving yards, like 13 touchdowns or something like that. But a guy that
14
really,
interceptions last year.
yeah, I mean, a guy that is really good. Also, a basketball player. He's
Yeah,
a he's a great athlete. He's a great
I
athlete, and
agree.
South Carolina can do something with this kid.
I agree. No, I think he's a really good pickup, really complimentary to House. I think that tight end room has gotten really talented. You should have Michael Smith in there. You'll have Mike Tyler next year. So even with Dingle and Brady Hunt phasing out, you still have a solid tight end room that's got a lot of talent that'll be able to make a lot of plays within the next year. So I think that group coming on really good. I think him becoming a tight end once he gets in the weight room, it's going to show why he should be a tight end. And he's going to be a very, very, very great pickup beyond just as a tight end, but he's going to be a great pickup because he's a high character kid who also loves ball. And you keep another kid in state, and I think that's the name of the game is continue to keep players in state and having them play for the home team.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And keeping guys like that in state. I want to go and shout out one of our guys right now that committed to the program, and obviously he was on the podcast. He was on the podcast, but I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Tristan Lewis. I don't know if you saw the way that his team Greenwood won against, I believe it was Dorman the
That
other
was
night.
beautiful. It was beautiful. It was
That was
beautiful.
it was incredible. That was
That kid
incredible.
flat out he did his thing. He did his thing.
He did, and in that win, check this out. In that win, he set multiple records, one of them being 423 passing yards, a new single game record for Greenwood, 5 passing touchdowns. That's the most in a single game in Greenwood history, and had 498 total yards of offense, breaking Armonte Edwards' '05 record of 466. Yeah, Armonte Edwards from Appalachian State, that guy that the Carolina Panthers wasted a draft pick on, but we won't get into that. Cute. Tristan Lewis, a baller, a playmaker. Shout out to him. I can't wait for him to get on campus.
Been telling y'all, the kid is different. I've been telling y'all, he is different. Y'all
I'm
gonna see.
surprised. I am surprised he never received any kind of offer at quarterback, though, man, from any of these other places. I'm
I don't know how
surprised.
that didn't. I don't know. I don't know how that slipped through the cracks. Who knows? Maybe they're not doing it because they know he's going to South Carolina. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that could be the case.
But the
That
kid's a
could that
gunslinger.
he is. He is. So great kid with Caden Ramsey. Like I said, shout out to Tristan Lewis and the other guys. Darius Gray's putting up some unworldly stats right now. I've seen it's just that guy might
Mm-hmm.
have 20 plus sacks this year. That definitely may be a that may be a goal he's going to reach.
Told you, man. Hey, that cat is he is one. I'm telling y'all right now. he might be the first offensive and defensive lineman we've had that plays both ends in college. We've seen like he legit could play both ends, and he could play both.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. Well, we're going to take it on to the Gamecocks and NFL segment. Q, a big weekend for the Gamecocks and NFL. Rocket Sanders gets his officially week one. Week one, a guy that wasn't on the 53 when he got cut by Los Angeles, and now he's with the Cleveland Browns. And guess what? Week one, he scores a touchdown. More than Amari and Hampton and any of those guys could say in L.A. So shout out to him. Shout out to him. Deebo Samuel showing who he is and who he can be. For the people that forgot about Deebo Samuel, yeah, that Deebo Samuel, that guy, I believe it was over 100 yards, I believe, or just short of 100 yards, a touchdown for Deebo Samuel in his debut at Washington. I don't know why people forgot about him.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Right.
J.C. Horn. What an interception by the kid, J.C. Horn, man.
Oh, yeah, he did a good one. That was a good one right there. JC did that. He did his thing on that one.
One-handed it.
Athletic.
Field. Oh, my gosh, dude. He got up for that ball. Insane play by J.C. Horn. Insane. Ernest Jones. How do people forget about Ernest Jones? And I'm going to rant on the Tennessee Titans for a second. You had an opportunity to keep Ernest Jones, and you didn't want to pay that, which was not that much, honestly, for what the Seattle Seahawks gave him. And they got a playmaker. The Seattle Seahawks got an absolute playmaker out of Ernest Jones. So a huge miss by the Tennessee Titans. They had that opportunity. And guess what? Ernest Jones showing who he is, a captain, a playmaker. And that interception he had against 49ers San Francisco, dang. Strong stuff. Strong stuff. A couple guys, NFL-wise, Xavier Legette, we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation about your footwork, about your blocking. I don't know what's going on. I love you, Zay, but we need to have a conversation because the film was not pretty this past weekend. I love you. I do. But from a football mind, talking to another football mind, it was not pretty. It was a bad weekend for Xavier Legette. These weekends happen. Mama said there's going to be days like this, but let's not make it happen anymore, right? So let's get it, group it up. Let's get it together and let's ball out like you can. So let's just shake that one off. Rico Dowdle didn't really do much for the Panthers. I think he had a run for the first down. That's really about it. Kai Kroger showing off the leg with the Seattle Saints. Good Lord. The New Orleans Saints showing off the leg. He looked good, man. He looked good. Spencer hit guys in the hands. They dropped the ball. What else can he do? What else can he do if you hit the guys in the hands?
He had a pretty good game if people would have caught the ball.
I mean, it's every time. I feel bad for Spence, man. He's doing everything he can. It's not a Spencer Rattler problem, honestly. It's just crazy to me. It's just wild. Really, other than that, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that really had that really blew it up in the NFL. I will say this: Israel Mukuamu, Muck, signed with the Carolina Panthers on the practice squad. So now you have JC and Muck reunited again. And Muck played for the Cowboys. Don't forget about that. Muck was not just a practice squad guy. He was on the 53. And the Carolina Panthers, more than likely, he'll be playing soon. Him and Bam Martin Scott, by the way. Bam Martin Scott will definitely begin playing time soon with the way these linebackers showed in week one. Just a travesty. Absolute travesty. Oh, yeah. TJ Sanders. A dude. Did you see that bull rush too? Did you see that bull rush of Lamar Jackson?
He had a good game.
My goodness.
He had a good game.
Sanders. TJ's going to be one, man. He was running with the ones early in this game. I'm talking about probably on that first possession, maybe second. But they're using a lot on the short field, I'm noticing so far to start out the season. So loving it. Loving the short down opportunities for TJ to show off what he can do. And hey, man, that was a game last night. That was a game.
Truth.
A fun game all around. And shout out to Derrick Henry for fumbling at the end to sealed my win in fantasy football because if he didn't fumble that ball, I would have lost, which is absolutely wild.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Lamar. You just go off and now I lose. You freaking loser. Freaking hate Lamar. They're still not gonna win the. They're still not gonna win the freaking Super Bowl, so it don't even matter.
Hey, look, I don't know who's gonna win the Super Bowl. It's way too early to tell, but it was a fun weekend. It was a fun weekend for football. Q, we need to go ahead and talk about college football pick'em standings and the spread when it comes to spread. And Q, Parker White, I just want to give him a shout out, dude. Obviously, he's 15-5 in this thing, but also Parker White is ranked 112th in the country in this on ESPN.
I made a comeback this week, though. We're
getting there. We're getting there. Tommy over at TD touchdown 5 points, 9-11 right now. Myself and Q, we are tied at 8-12. So Q and I, we're sitting around a nice 8-12. Sin sitting at 6-14. Sitting at 6.
Non-ball nowhere.
And Rob Brown forgot to put the picks in. He is at a 4-6, but he already made a comment. He said, "Man, it's something how to be only 2 picks down from when you don't make your picks."
Bum. That man's a non-ball nowhere. Sin's a non-ball nowhere. Freaking non-ball nowhere.
It's quite wild, man. So obviously, you saw, Q, myself, we're going to get over 500 this week. We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
I should.
We're taking those spots from Tommy. Love to land. I'm probably gonna take a little while to catch up to Parker White because of his start, but man, it's been fun. It's been fun so far. Q, I mean, do you have anything else before we wrap up the show, my guy?
Nah, I'm looking forward to the Vanderbilt game and seeing what that looks like for us. I think that's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun week to see what leads up to it. I did want to say one thing too, Q, about Landon Duckworth. I wanted to hear what your thought was about Landon Duckworth obviously visiting LSU over the weekend. But the staff knew. The staff did know about it, so it wasn't a surprise. It was just a surprise to fans. I want to hear your thoughts about it.
I mean, he's supposed to be here this weekend. I know LSU struck out a lot on QBs that they wanted in the 26 class. So it just kind of, I don't know. I'm curious to see what that looks like. That's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's ideal at any point, and he got the offer after the game, so I don't know where things stand with that. But I mean, he'll be in town this weekend, so we'll see. I mean, is it just fluff? Is he serious about it? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
Yeah, and look, it's one of those things. Like if it is serious, the staff's not going to play around, and they're like, "All right, well, you can go ahead." It gets to a point. I will say that it gets to a point. I'm not saying it is serious, but if it is, it's definitely going to be interesting to see where that goes for that. But I got to tell you, man, we've had the conversations with a couple of recruits. They saw that Netflix series about LSU. It didn't do any good for Brian Kelly. It didn't do any good for Brian Kelly.
I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen this weekend when they play Florida. I think if Brian loses this weekend to Florida, which means you're giving life to Florida, I think there's going to have some questions for him. So I don't know. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen when it comes to him.
Yeah, likewise. And like I said, things could be worse. You could let South Florida walk into your house and beat you. A G5 school, by the way. Not a P4 school, but things could be worse. Really, kid, that's it, man. That's it, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning live on Facebook, X, YouTube, all those fun places. Appreciate y'all listening to the Welcome Home Podcast. Believe in the Welcome Home Podcast on Apple and Spotify. You can rate and review the show over there. And check out the next ones. Check out the old episodes. Check out these interviews, man. We've had some great ones. Tristan Lewis, Darius Gray recently. We're trying to get some new ones on here soon. But guys, we will see you next time.
Peace.